Americans face a monumental choice about the future of our country. This budget resolution reflects that choice. It disavows the relentless government spending, taxing, and borrowing that are leading America towards a debt-fueled economic crisis and demise of America's exceptional promise. It chooses instead a path to prosperity by limiting government to its core constitutional roles, keeping America's promise to seniors, and unleashing the genius of American workers, investors, and entrepreneurs.
For too long, policymakers in Washington have traveled the path of least resistance, a path that has unsurprisingly led the nation downhill. The empty promises made by Washington over the years have resulted in economic hardships today and increasing pessimism about tomorrow.
Government at all levels is mired in debt. Mismanagement and overspending have left the nation on the brink of bankruptcy. Only recently, millions of American families saw their dreams destroyed in a financial disaster caused by misguided policies, perverse incentives, and irresponsible leadership. This crisis squandered the nation's savings and crippled its economy.
At a time when the free market foundations of the American economy were in desperate need of restoration and repair, the last Congress took actions that further undermined them. The President and his party's leaders embarked on a stimulus spending spree that added hundreds of billions of dollars to the debt, yet failed to deliver on its promises to create jobs. Acute economic hardship was exploited to enact unprecedented expansions of government power.
This did not sit well with the American people. Citizens stood up and demanded that their leaders reacquaint themselves with America's founding ideals of liberty, limited government, and equality under the rule of law.
In recent years, both political parties have squandered the public's trust. The American people ended a unified Republican majority in 2006, just as they ended a unified Democrat majority last fall. Americans reject leaders who focus on pursuit of power at the expense of principle. They reject empty promises from a government that cannot live within its means. They deserve the truth about the nation's fiscal and economic challenges. They deserve and demand honest leaders willing to stand for solutions.
Congress can no longer afford to ignore these demands. Political parties lose elections, and life in the republic goes on. But a government that loses its sovereignty to its bondholders cannot long guarantee its people's prosperity, much less secure their freedom. A government that buries the next generation under an avalanche of debt cannot claim the moral high ground in the world. A government that allows economic destinies to be determined by political considerations rather than merit cannot lead the world in productivity and growth. And a government that promotes dependency and undermines the institutions of faith and family will inevitably weaken the nation's greatest strength, the exceptional character of its entrepreneurial, self-reliant, and hardworking citizens.
This budget, the path to prosperity, heeds America's political, economic, and moral imperatives by confronting the nation's most urgent fiscal challenges. This path to prosperity draws upon solutions from across the political spectrum and builds upon the important work of the President's Bipartisan Commission on Fiscal Responsibility and Reform.
This path to prosperity reflects input from leaders at the state and local level, economists and experts who testified before the House Budget Committee, and American citizens calling for honest leadership and real solutions.
This path to prosperity applies America's timeless principles to today's greatest challenges by committing to three key goals: lifting the crushing burden of debt, fulfilling the mission of health and retirement security for all Americans, and strengthening the foundations of economic growth and job creation.
Above all, this path to prosperity calls for a government faithful to its limited but noble mission, securing every American's right to pursue a destiny of his or her own choosing. This budget rejects a culture of complacency, and it offers reforms that promote initiative by rewarding effort. And it aims to restore the dynamism that's defined America over the generations.
In the words of Abraham Lincoln, we cannot escape history. We of this Congress and this administration will be remembered in spite of ourselves. So will we be remembered as the Congress that did nothing as the nation slouched towards a preventable debt crisis and irreversible decline? Or will we be remembered as the Congress that did the hard work of preventing that crisis and the one that chose the path to prosperity?
Decline is antithetical to the American idea. America is a nation conceived in liberty, dedicated to equality, and defined by limitless opportunity. In all the chapters of human history, there has never been anything quite like America. This budget's goal is to keep it exceptional and to preserve its promise for the next generation.